pit lane. Give us all you can.
All right, I think we're back live again here at the North American Test Day for Season 2 of the Delta Racing League on ACC. Hopefully the server is cooperating with us after a full restart here. So we're up to 21 drivers now have entered the Test Day session for practice right now. We're looking at Jose Flores in the 888 War Turtle Racing Aston. I believe it's a second entry for that team, so I think we have a couple more teams forming. We have the Drivers' Championship, and there is a brand new Teams Championship and Manufacturers' Championship this year being introduced. After watching the European Championship Test Day today, sure we're in for some more great racing here tonight from the North American Championship. As I was saying before, it looks like we have a lot of Astons here. So we're looking at Aaron Tarver in the 904, sitting in 12th right now. Coming around the final turn. I'm not sure if he's on a lap or not right now. Comes around with a 2-minute right there. Coming out of the pits behind him is Gerard Niles, the Meek Niles Racing 28 Aston Martin. I believe that could be another team car from I think our provisional pole sitter right now, Jay Mink, in the 27. So I think I've already spotted 2 Aston Martin teams in the NA Championship. Got a Bentley here of Mellon Pitch in the 411. Good to see a Bentley on the grid. So yeah, unlike the European Championship, I think we're going to see a lot of new and exciting drivers coming out of the North American side of the league. We already know we have a very competitive European Championship here at Delta Racing League. So, should be pretty entertaining to see what these new drivers have in store for us. Looking at the top here, the top 2 are looking pretty close. Here's our fastest driver of the day today, Jacob Mink, in the 27 with a 1:55.8. And the other Mink Niles Racing Aston Martin. Maybe we'll take a lap with our fastest North American driver right now on test day. Whoa! Whoa. Bit of quite a mix-up right there with the Snyder Audi coming out of pit lane there. It's like an incident here on test day. And looks like they'll regroup from that. We'll move on like we have a nice looking Nissan here. Tim Wilkins in the 42. So he's our 17th driver of the day to record a lap right now in the practice session of the test day. Remember, we have qualifying next, followed by a 30-minute sprint race. So these drivers can fully test out their capabilities. Getting ready for round one coming up next week, same time. Right here next week will be round one. Looks like he's pulling off. Here's our second fastest driver of the day, Evan Baird with a 1:55.9 in the 19 Lockdown Racing Ferrari. We'll follow this driver around. He's coming up behind one of the Bentley here of Lucas Clerget, the 155. We'll go on, take a look at the aerial cam here. It's a nice clear day from Paul Ricard again for the North American drivers. Clear skies. Not sure what Baird's going to do here. Looks like he gets by the Bentley there. Again, it's just test day. The season and the points championship begins next week for all of these drivers, so just a good time for everyone to get out on track together, especially with a debut championship like this for the North American series. Very good turnout here. Already I expect the numbers to grow once we get into the final hours here of the practice session. Getting closer to the race. Another Ferrari here of David Richter in the Aftershock Racing 711. We see Jack Poland coming out of the pits here. I think our second of our two Nissans on the grid here for the North American Series. I'm not sure if they're teammates. They look like they could be, judging by their colors. Poland here for the Street Breed team, number 58 Nissan. So he's coming out on his outlap here. Followed by Richter, followed by... I don't think we've seen this driver, Jim Bedson, in the 13. Right now he's 8th overall with a 157. So a good time for a new driver here. In the all-white and red trimmed Aston Martin Vantage GT3 heading down the Mistral Straight here. We'll follow him through Sector 3, see if he can improve his time. He's only just over a second off the fastest time. Alright, let's see what else we got. Baird still in second. Here's a new driver, Andrew Sire, in the 111 Pups and Suds Ferrari. It's like a true AM driver here, so looks like he could be making his debut here in Delta Racing League. Like I said, this league has been growing quickly. We're only in season 2 and there's already over 92 entries spread over 3 championships. Pro and Am in Europe and a combined North American championship here. So come round 1 next week for Europe and North America. Make sure you tune in. This is just a preview of what's to come. Coming up 5 minutes ago, we're 5 minutes away from 1 hour left in this practice session here. We're already up to 21 entries. Here we go. We have at least we have a Lexus in Europe and North America, so that's nice. Mike Karachek here in the 23 Tech 1 Racing Lexus. So good to see. Good variety of manufacturers out on the grid. Sitting 3rd overall right now as well. I'm sure he'll be looking to improve a little bit. Not sure how many of these drivers are on fuel runs or race stints or hot laps. But either way, looking at the timetables quick, the top 6 are still within a second of each other. I believe in Europe, the top 10 were all within a second of each other, so North America is not too far off of Europe right now. Let's see who we got in 7th coming around. Jose Flores in the 888. I think we've seen him, so he has a 157 right now. In 7th, just over a second off of Mink in 1st right now. Going a little wide there in Sector 3. Dedson followed by Niles here. So it looks like Gerard Niles has moved up, it looks like, recently with a 156.6 in the 4th. So Mink and Niles in the 27 and 28 Astons could possibly be looking like the North American team here. The early favorites this year. Still yet to see what happens during race situations, of course. Got Colin McRaven in front of him. Looks like he's heading out on track. So he gets out of the way. Good driving by him. Looks like he's just heading out on his first lap. looks like these Mink Niles Racing Aston Martins are pretty hooked up for the North American Championship. Could be a team to keep an eye on. Okay, here we go. We have a Honda sighting, it looks like. Austin Green coming around turn 8 here in the number 9 Honda NSX GT3. Sitting 11th, so that's a pretty good time. Looks like he's the lone Honda on the grid. One Honda, one Lexus, as far as I can see. That's still good. I don't believe we had a Honda in the European Championship, so good to see one showing up here in North America. Maybe we'll take a... Oh, nope, he's pulling in. See if we can take an onboard lap with somebody we haven't lately. Pitch coming into the pits, Baird going into pit lane. Here's Lucas Clerget. Maybe we'll go on board. We'll see if he's coming around for another lap. We might go on board with the Bentley here. The 155 Bentley. Take an onboard lap around Paul Ricard. Not quite faster. A little 159 there on his lap there for Clerget. Good tour around Paul Ricard for us though in the Bentley. So we'll take a look at another new driver, Luz Mowry, sitting in 6th with a 156.8 in the 17 Aston Martin entry. The pink and purple. Kind of looks like the Pink Panther heading down the straight here. So yeah, as I was saying earlier in the stream, for the European Championship, unlike most other circuits, Paul Ricard, very few sand traps or pits on the side of the circuit. Just almost more like COTA, maybe in North America, except with these runoffs, the blue and red stripes there are more abrasive surfaces to slow the car down. Almost simulating the sand trap, but without getting you stuck. It will eat up the tires though. The blue less abrasive, the red more abrasive. I'm sure, as you can see as we're heading over with the aerial view here, another unique feature of this track, I'm sure you'll notice quite a few variations and alternate routes for this track. Apparently there's 167 possible configurations of this track. So that's according to Wikipedia, so you can look it up if you want. I don't know. I believe it. We'll move on from Mauri here to Wilkins in the 603 Racing Nissan. Currently 18th on the grid with a 206.5. So it's the 18th car on the grid to set a time right now in the practice session. Here we go. Here's the Honda we were checking out earlier of Austin Green in the number 9. 11th right now with a 157.3. The lone Honda on the grid. Kind of has the Joker livery going right now. Purple, green, and black. Oh, looks like he had a little bit of a slide coming out of sector 1 there. At turn 5, 6, and 7 complex right there. It's a crucial turn right there, heading out onto this long straight. Can gain a lot of time if you get a good exit. Go on board with driver's eye here with Austin Green in the Honda. Well, as Austin Green comes around the final turn here, I'm looking at the time here and I see Karachek in the 23 Lexus has jumped Baird to go second overall. Behind Mink. Not too far behind. Try to find him on track right now. There he is. Coming up to turn 1, Karachek. So he scored a 155.9 for his fastest lap. Not far off at all from Mink, so Karachek right now threatening Mink for the fastest time here for test day in North America. Just checking the stream here. Is the stream still running? Looks like it's running. So yeah, good racing here by Karachek. He's putting in some good times. Would be nice to see Alexis running up front in one of these championships. Like he went a little bit he's going faster. Looks like he's putting in some hot lap. We'll go on board with the Lexus here, the only one we have. Alright, Karachek coming down the straight here. Nice on board with him. And he does go fastest on that lap with a 1:55.6. So right now your fastest driver in North America for Season 2, provisionally for Delta Racing League, Mike Karachek here in the 23 Lexus with a 1:55.6. Sure he'll be happy with that. We'll check in on some of the other drivers here. We have 20 drivers on the grid right now. Steve Poe looks like he has just come out on track in the 369 Turn 1 Hero Aston Martin Vantage GT3. The lime on lime green here. Looks like he's coming around the final turn. We'll see. Maybe we'll follow him for a lap. The good thing about test day here is, so he moves up, he sets a time there of 1:59.7. Good thing about test day here is give all of us a chance to get used to all these drivers. A lot of new drivers, especially in North America here. following Sam Snelltreen here, 242, another new driver for Ferrari. 13th right now. It's a pretty good looking livery there. Kind of like it. Alright, we'll move up Tim Wilkins. Still working around in the 42 Nissan. Let's see if I can see if McRaven can set a time here coming around. Looks like he's still looking for his first time of the day. Coming up on 45 minutes to go in the practice session. Remember, qualifying is next, followed by the 30-minute sprint race. This is the official test day, so just a preseason race following the conclusion of this session. So here's Mink. He's been moved down to second. Right now he's on a 155. Just behind Karachek in the Lexus. We'll see if Mink can improve here coming around into Sector 3. Looks like a lot of miles put on this track already. You can see a couple pylons on the track, a lot of rubber already forming on the track. Looks like Minx was just on an outlap there. We'll catch back up with him when he comes back around. Right behind him on track, coming around turn 1 and 2, Evan Baird. Still holding third with a 155.9 in the black and blue Ferrari for Lockdown Racing. Go on board, heading down the long Mistral Straight here. Gotta love the sound of the backfires there. What's this? How did I turn the multiplayer names on? Hang on. Alright, we're back. Catching up with Jim Benson here, so he's moving up into 4th now. Overall with a 156.4. Benson getting faster and faster here in the 13. Looks like a privateer entry. Debut entry here. Could be a driver to keep an eye on. I'm interested to see what time he gets coming around here. Not sure if he's on a lap. Doesn't look like it. It's hard to tell with the Aston. 156.6 there, so still a consistent time for Benson there. Pretty consistent driver. We'll move up to 3rd overall, Jacob Mink. Just right above him on the timesheets with a 155.8. And Mink's teammate, Jared Niles, with a 156.6 in 5th place right now. Just under 40 minutes to go in the practice session. Most drivers definitely should have had a full opportunity to do a fuel run during this practice session for the sprint race. Seen most of these drivers out on track the whole session right now. So Niles coming around the final turn. We'll see if that was his, looks like that was his out lap there, so we'll hop on board with Jared Niles here in the 28. Alright, as we see Niles coming up to turns 13 and 14 here. There's about 14 or 15 turns on this version of the track. Whatever way you want to look at it, I'm not sure exactly if there's 14 or 15 turns. Maybe there's 13, I don't know. A little bit slower for Niles, just pacing himself there. Still sitting 5th overall. So here's a driver we have not seen yet, Brandon McQueen in the 24 McLaren. Right now 18th overall with a 159.4. Not sure that was a clean lap though. So he's yet to set a lap. He's still looking to set a lap right now. It's only one of 2 McLarens on the grid right now. Kind of blends in with the track there. Brandon McQueen for Team Brando GTE. Must be a privateer entry. Coming down to the end of the Mistral straight to the fast right-hander, turn 8 there. Mink's right behind him. Oh, Baird has gone fastest with a 155.434. Not sure if that has just happened or in the last couple laps while we're checking out these other drivers. Check out Baird here with... So, a couple laps ago he set that lap, it looks like. So, Evan Baird is your fastest North American driver right now here on test day in the number 19 Lockdown Racing Ferrari. So yeah, just looking at the top 3 here for North America, 3 fast drivers right now. Could be in position for pole coming up in the qualifying session. Baird pulls into the pits here. Looks like he's content with his setup. See who we can find out on track here. Here's Wilkins in the 42 Nissan. Maybe we'll take a lap with Godzilla here in the 603 Racing Nissan. Wilkins with a little bit of wheel spin coming out of the final turn. Coming across the line. We'll go on board here, driver's eye with Wilkins in the Nissan. Yeah, that didn't look good. Might be losing a little bit of control there on the rear tires. Not sure what kind of stint he's on. We'll catch up here. We'll check in with Colin McRaven here in the 416 Blackout Mercedes AMG. He's sitting 16th overall. I'm not sure who he's behind. He's catching a draft from Andrew Sire down the straight here. We'll follow these two, heading around Sector 3. Coming around the final turn here, looks like these drivers are just doing a little practice race here. McRaven moves up one spot to 15th with a 1:59.3. Through turns 1, turn 2. Catching up to Sire. Looks like he's going to let McRaven through here. Followed by Flores here in the 888. Still in 7th with a 1:56.7. So yeah, just under 30 minutes to go here in the practice session. We have the qualifying session coming up next for these drivers. Looking at the times, it's going to be pretty hotly contested between the top 3 and then followed right down through the top 10 there. We'll have a 30-minute or a 30-minute sprint race following the qualifying session. So if any of you are familiar with the racing here at Delta Racing League, you definitely don't want to miss a DRL race start. Oh! Sire goes a little, loses the rear end there. Flores, good evasive action to minimize the damage at least. Couple cars coming through, yellow flags in Sector 3. I'm sure the cars will get started and regroup after that. It's just a minor incident here in practice. Sire will head back into the pits, repair the damage. So we'll check in with another Ferrari driver here, the 242 of Sam Snelltreen. Sitting on a 1:57 right now in 12th. Coming around turn 12 Village right there. Heading into turn 13 and 14, the final turn. Nice looking black, white, and orange there on the Ferrari. Bedson going quite wide there. Track limits are a lot more relaxed than the normal Formula One track limits most might be familiar with around here at Paul Ricard. A lot of these drivers utilizing test day as well to see what they can and cannot get away with in terms of track limits. It's no harm, no foul usually around Paul Ricard, especially around a test day. We're not in qualifying or the race yet. Take a look down pit lane here. Nice looking grid of cars. Looks like Brandon McQueen has moved up to 17th with a 159.9. He's going to get out of the way there of Jacob Mink. So we have a Ferrari, a Lexus, and a Aston Martin. Right now, your top three manufacturers on the grid for North America. Followed by just a bunch of drivers all clumped together here. The mid-pack in North America is going to be quite entertaining this year, I think. All right, we're caught back up with our fastest driver right now, Evan Baird. Looks like he's in Sector 1 right now. Austin Green not too far behind in the number 9 Honda. Still holding in on 10th here. Good showing for the Honda. See who's in front of him. David Richter in front of him in 4th. So Richter's moving up a little bit. He has a 156 right now, sitting in 4th, just over a second off of the lead pace right now. So David Richter still is a red tag, so it looks like pretty much a full AM entry here. Good debut here for Richter in the 711 Ferrari. Follow him heading down the back straight here. So not as many full team entries in the North American series, but that's to be expected. I'm surprised there's about 7 or 8 truly competitive teams in the European Pro division. I think we have about 2 or 3 that I'm seeing right now that could compete for the team title here in North America. As with any new league though, it's going to grow and get bigger. This is only Season 2 of Delta Racing League on ACC. Already expanded into 3 full championships. Looks like Green has caught up to Richter here. Follow these two mid-engine cars driving around on track. Just under 20 minutes to go in the practice session here. One good thing about Power Card, it definitely is a good test day circuit. Fairly safe. Nice long straightaway. Drivers can stretch the car's legs out a little bit. A lot of passing opportunities on this track as well, especially in sectors 1 and 3. It's also the hard braking zone at the end of the Mistral straight. McRaven up to 13th with a 158.6. Catching up with him in the 416 Mercedes AMG. Maybe we'll go on board with him, take a lap in the AMG. Alright, so McRaven coming around the final turn. off of his pace a little bit. See if Betson can improve here. His times have been pretty consistent all session. On board with Sneltrin here. A little bit slower on that lap for Sneltrin. Betson in front of him. Jared Niles still holding 5th with a 156.6. I'm sure a lot of these drivers now are starting to look forward to the qualifying session coming up next. They were probably running race setups during practice. Might want to go light on fuel, trim the car out a little bit for qualifying, especially a track like this with a long back straight like this. Looks like 5th and 6th have the exact same time. Niles and Austin William. If I'm looking at the times right. Looks like Niles' teammate Mink is coming out of the pit lane. Maybe a final shakedown before qualifying. He's looking pretty good in 2nd right now. Betson in 4th overall in the 13 Aston. So here's Richter. Richter is up in third with a 156.4. One of 3 true AM drivers with the red distinction. So that's a good time. Be interesting to see what he can do in qualifying coming up here in 10 minutes time. Moving on to Flores. He's looking like a pretty consistent driver. Just over a second off the pace, so I'm sure he can bring that down in qualifying a little bit. Might be able to challenge William for 6th in qualifying. Looks like Flores might be the first Cuban driver, I think, for Delta Racing League. Great thing about the new update from ACC, the nationality flags you can see displayed in the bottom right when we switch to the drivers. Obviously, this is the North American Championship, going to be predominantly North American drivers, but one good thing that the league organizers and coordinators here at Delta Racing League did, obviously with over 92 entries heading into Season 2, splitting the league up into 3 full championships, Pro and Am for Europe, and a combined North American Championship here for these drivers. Offers 2 different time zones, really, for the most competitive drivers on really the best sim racing game you can get today, especially for GT3 racing. So it's going to be quite a Season 2 to look forward to. Again, Round 1 for Europe and North America is next week. Same times for each. Oh, Wilkins a little wide. Looks like he locked up the brakes there. Heading into that heavy braking zone. Can happen to most drivers. Sure, he'll head into the pits, possibly readjust the strategy. Take a look at Andrew Sire here in the 111 Ferrari. Just under 1 minute to go here in the practice session. Got a gaggle of cars here. Whoa. Mink gets sent off there in the confusion. Niles pulls off as well. Looks like just a little bit of traffic there at the end of practice. Gonna pull up the timetables actually. We have 18 cars on the grid ready to go for qualifying here for the North American Championship. Here for the test day qualifying at Power Card.
Green light, go, go, go.
All right. Drivers are just heading out. Green flag is just dropped for the qualifying session here for the official test day of the North American Championship for the Delta Racing League Season 2 on ACC. Try to catch up with what drivers are out on track first right now. Looks like it might be Tony Giordano, possibly first out on track right now here in qualifying in the 57 Amarok Tactical Audi. Oh, a little hot. It's going wide there. We'll catch up with Mike Karachek here. This might be the favorite for pole, if I had to guess. Would be nice to see Alexis on pole, whether it's a preseason race or not. Looks like Karachek is coming around to start his first flying lap here in qualifying. follow Karachek here down the Mistral Straight. Just topping out before they hit the hard braking zone there, using every bit of the curbs there and track limits. Coming around turn 13 for Karachek here. Turn 14, final turn. See what he can do on his first flying lap. (1:55.9). Provisional pole right now, the only time set right now, of course. Williams coming out of the pit. No time for Sire right now. Drivers coming across. Richard Young up into fourth right now with a 1:58.7. Try to keep up with the times as they come across the board right now. Jared Niles in second with a 1:56.6. in the 28 Aston Martin. Good first lap for him. Lucas Clerget in the 1:55. Off-track Bentley, 5th overall. David Richter up into third where he was in practice with a 1:57.3. Getting a little loose there in sector 1. He's going to compromise his exit possibly. Heading down the straight. Jim Bedson here. Here's a driver that was showing some pretty good pace in practice. We'll see what he can do. Not sure if he's on a lap or is out lap right now. Here's Mink coming around the final turn. We'll see what time he sets for his first time. A 1:56.6 moves him up to third overall, so that's a very good lap. Puts Mink Niles Racing 2 and 3 right now. Sure they can't ask for more than that right now. Giordano, the 10th driver to set a lap so far with a 2-minute .4. take a look at Lowe's Mowry here, sitting 8th overall, and the Pink Panther, number 17, Aston. Coming up on a bit of traffic with McQueen in front of him. So yeah, again, a lot of Aston Martins here in the North American Championship. Kind of interesting. Couple drivers still searching for their first laps here in qualifying. Richard Young coming across with a 1:58.7 for his best lap, sitting 12th. Georgie Schatt, 17th overall, still looking for his first lap right now, actually. Here in the 710 McLaren. 4 drivers still searching for their first lap in qualifying, just under 20 minutes to go. Andrew Sire throwing the Ferrari off the curbs there. Turn 1. Giordano here, one of only 2 Audis on the grid, surprisingly. Oh, looks like Wilkins goes wide there in Sector 1, off track. Followed by Clerget and Bedson here. Go on board with Bedson and the Aston Martin down the long straight. Bedson heading across, not quite fast, but still consistent with the 157s. Still good time for Bedson. Flores heading around in 11th. Austin Green up to 4th in the Honda NSX with a 156.7, so that's a good time for him. The number 9 Honda. Good to see a Honda in the top 5. Right now we have a Honda on pole, or a Lexus on pole, and a Honda P4, so with 2 Aston sandwich in between. That's interesting to see in the North American Championship for sure. Lexus, Aston, Honda. Aston Martin is your top 5 right now. Just over 15 minutes to go in qualifying here in the North American Championship. The test day for Delta Racing League. See, Green comes across the line. Looks like that was his outlap there. Let's take a lap on board with Green in the Honda. Looks like he has it pretty set up right now. Not sure if he got slowed down there by that Nissan or not. Heading down the straight, we'll follow Green to the end of his lap here through Sector 3 in qualifying. Jared Mink is very close to Karachek right now. 1 and 2 are very close in qualifying. Could be Karachek and Mink on the front row, is what it's looking like right now. A little slower, still very consistent for Green. There's only one of the 2 Audis. We haven't seen much of this driver today, Austin William, in the 887 Jingles eSport Audi. Sitting 10th overall right now. Very respectable time right now for him in the Audi. Heading down the straight. Got quite a draft there from the Nissan that could possibly help him. Maybe catch 9th. Godzilla drifting in the background there. We'll see what William can do coming around into Sector 3. Just off. Another 157. 5 on that last lap, a little bit slower. Still consistent for William. So we take a look at Jose Flores, still holding 7th with a 1:57.2 right now. Mink is at a 1:55.9, just off pole right now from Karachek. Here's your fastest driver of the day right now in qualifying, Karachek with a 1:55.8. The number 23 Tech 1 Racing Lexus. Everything we've seen from this driver today, I mean, his lines are looking pretty solid. Definitely could be a favorite to win the title this year for Drivers' Championship. So we were watching Karachek here. It looks like Mink has gone a little bit faster to close the gap between first and second. Karachek still on pace. He's going to get slowed down here by Bedson into turn 1. Coming up on 9 minutes to go in qualifying here. We do have the 30-minute sprint race coming up next. Stay tuned for that. It's going to be wild. 18 cars on the grid. Top 5, I'm sure, are going to be going at it. Looking at the times right now. Top 5 all within a second. We'll catch up with Jared Niles here in 4th. Looks like he's just entering the Mistral straight right now. Jim Bedson up to 3rd with a 1:56.1. Not sure when that happened. Within the last lap or two. So Bedson up to 3rd in the number 13 Aston Martin. Again, a driver that's impressing here in his debut. Benson coming around turn 13 and turn 14. The white and red Aston. Just off his fast time. Still holds third. Coming up on 5 minutes to go here in the qualifying session for the North American Test Day. So Richter's down in 11th. I was expecting him to at least be in the top 10 during the qualifying here, so we'll see if he can put together a lap here. Looks like he's struggling a little bit in the qualifying session right now. Brandon McQueen right behind him in 12th on track with a 1:57.8. Good qualifying time for McQueen right now. See if Richter can improve on his 11th position. Coming around the final turn. Nope, not this lap. It's one thing about powered car there. You see right there, the car's exiting pit lane. There's not really a runoff there, so they do have the white line there to protect them, but if the car is coming down the straight, don't see them, it can be pretty sketchy. So we see Shat here still in 16th. We'll catch up with our provisional pole sitter, Mike Karachek, with a 1:55.536 right now here at Power Card, coming up on 4:30 p.m. 2 minutes to go in the qualifying session. Karachek has pretty much been in control since the test session. As there's a little bit of a slide there as I say that. Might have still held it within track limits, and now looks like he's going to abandon the lap there, so we'll pick up with second place here, Jacob Mink. This is probably the only driver that can do anything about pole right now. He's going to slow down to give himself a little bit of room coming up. He's going to have one final lap here. We'll go on board here with Mink, see if he can do anything. Alright, checkered flag is out in qualifying. Here for the North American Championship. I'm going to follow Mink across the line here. Not enough. I'm going to pull up the timetables here. So get ready in a minute or two. We're going to get ready for the formation lap for the start of the preseason race. Alright, we're back. Drivers are on the grid, getting their setups ready for the start of the first ever preseason race for the North American Championship. Again, round one for Europe and North America is next week. But this is a very good judge of where everybody's at. Looks like we're going to have Karachek versus Mink on the front row here. Lexus versus Aston Martin. Pull up the... Let me get it. There we go. So, Mike Karachek, your pole sitter here today in the 23 Lexus, followed by Jacob Mink in the 27 Aston Martin on the front row. Jim Betson third, Jared Niles fourth, Austin Green fifth, Jose Flores sixth, Luz Mowry seventh, Austin William eighth, Sam Snailtree ninth, Richard Young 10th. 5 seconds ago, drivers heading off the jacks, getting their final cues to ready up. Looks like Richard Young missed the call to ready up. He's going to have to start from pit lane. Unfortunate for him. Karachek gets the green to head out on the formation lap, followed by Mink and Bedson. So here we go. The start of a brand new championship here for Delta Racing League, the North American Championship. Lots of great manufacturers, great new drivers. I'm sure it's going to be just as competitive as Europe. We take a look through the grid here. Young is going to have to wait until the grid takes the green. Looking through this great looking field here tonight. Austin Williams in the Audi here. Drivers are going to want to get heat in their brakes, warm up their tires. moving back through the grid. On board with Brandon McQueen in the number 24 Aston Martin. All right, here we go. I'm excited for this start. Karachek leading the grid into Sector 3. Drivers will be getting the cue to grid up 2x2 pretty soon here. Getting their final heat into the brakes and tires. We'll go up top with the helicam here for the start. Looks like they're getting the cue to ready up right now, 2x2. So it's going to be Karachek versus Mink. Lexus versus Aston Martin on the front row. Here for the North American test day preseason race at Paul Ricard. Cars are gridding up 2x2, good formation. Mink and Karachek side by side, heading up to the green lights. Waiting for the lights to go green.
Green light. Give it all you got.
And we're off. We're green here at Paul Ricard for the North American preseason. Karachek with a great start. Both of them, Niles, Mink Racing, Aston Martin's a good start, second and third. William and Lowry battling here in Sector 1. Nice clean start by all these North American drivers. Looks like McQueen, the only driver with a drive-through right now, possibly a starting infraction. We'll follow this group of three right here. Heading down the Mistral straight, 3 wide, Austin Green, Jose Flores. Looks like all three of those drivers think better of it and make it work. We'll catch back up with the front three here. Jared Niles pressuring Mink and Karachek. These two Aston Martin team drivers are going to be, I'm sure, thinking about a strategy to get around this privateer Lexus driver. So heading around, leading them around the end of lap 1, Mike Karachek in the 23 Tech 1 Racing Lexus, leading Jacob Mink and Jared Niles. back further, we have the fight for 5th right here between Austin Green and Jose Flores. Flores is going to get a good slipstream right here off of the Honda. See if he can make a pass here. Side by side. Coming into the heavy braking zone. Nice clean racing by both of these drivers. Flores up into 5th there in the 888 War Turtle Racing, Aston Martin. A lot of cars right here. We have Green in 6, Austin William in 7, and Mowry in 8th right here. Not a lot of track between these drivers. Looking back here, we have Snell Train and McQueen fighting for 10th. Side by side, heading down the front straight. McQueen still has to serve that drive-through within 3 laps. We'll catch back up to the leaders. So here's our front 3. Mike Karachek leading Jacob Mink and Jared Niles. Looks like it's going to be a great fight between these 3. 25 minutes to go. Looks like Mink is definitely getting a run here down the straight. See if he can make a pass on the outside. Karachek is taking a defensive line. Oh! Looks like the Astons touched a little bit, it looked like. Looks like Niles has given way for Mink. See what the other teammate can do here on the leading Lexus. They definitely look like they have the pace. Karachek is looking very wise in his defensive strategy. Looks like Niles has fallen off quite a bit here. He's falling under pressure from Bedson now. Bedson is catching up. So Bedson is making this interesting here. Top 4 are still very much in this race. Looks like Bedson is going to get a nice slipstream off of Niles here on the long back straight. Possibly for the lead here as well. Mink looking to the inside of Karachek. This is getting very interesting here. We have a fight for first and a fight for third. We do have a driver, Richter, with a stop and go, 30-second penalty. Not sure what that could be. Track limits or some sort of other infraction. First, second, third, and fourth all within reach of each other. Fifth, Jose Flores. Sixth, Austin Green. 7, Austin William. And 8th, Lowe's Mowry. So we have 2 separate packs of four cars here up front. This is quite an interesting race here in the North American test day. Be interesting to see who prevails up front and who prevails in this fight for 5th here. Looks like these drivers are kind of pacing each other out right now. They know it's still a long race, still 20 minutes to go. Still very much a sprint race though, as we have Mink looking to the outside now. Karachek taking another defensive line to the inside. Mink might have enough. Nope. Karachek and the Lexus still with enough power to hold off. This is a great battle here for the top 3 here on test day for North America. Oh! Wow. Quite a move there for Mink on the outside. I'm not sure if Karachek was slow there. It's an unusual spot to pass right there. So Mink has taken the lead coming to the end of lap 4 here. And Bedson's still pressuring Niles for 3rd. Still a lot of overtaking opportunities ready to go. We'll take a quick look down the grid here. Flores in 5th, Green in 6th, William in 7th, Lowry in 8th, Sam Snelltrain in 9th. Good start for him. Lucas Clerget in the 155 Bentley rounds out your top 5. Tony Giordano running 11th right now. Andrew Sire 12th. Followed by Georgie Schatt in the 710. Richard Young is 15th in the 44 Aston Martin. Followed by Tim Wilkins there in the 603 Nissan. And we got to catch back up with this fight for the lead here. Mink has taken the lead over Karachek. Miss that. There's a fight for 3rd right here. Bedson has just overtaken Niles as well. So yeah, there's great racing all over the track here. I can barely keep track of it, whether it's at the front of the grid or the middle of the grid, all the way through. So we'll keep it here right now. We'll go on board with Karachek in 2nd in the Lexus. Looks like Karachek is a little too far back. We'll see if Bedson can make a move on Niles here. It's not quite close enough either. Austin William here to fight for 6th. Catch back up with the leaders. Just over 16 minutes to go. Jacob Mink crosses the line to start lap 7. Being chased by Karachek. Bedson is looking like he wants to make a move on Niles. We'll see. And Clerget is rounding out the top 10, so the top 10 here is definitely very competitive here for the North American Championship. It's a very good sign heading into the season. Round 1. Starting next Saturday, as I said, same time. So top 2 here are breaking away a little bit. They're almost 3 seconds over 3rd and 4th here of
We are halfway through. Keep
Niles and Bedson, followed by Flores in 5th, Green in 6th, and Austin William in 7th here. Oh, let's move up here. Bedson pressuring Niles again. Heading down the front straight to turn 1. Bedson definitely looks like he wants a podium position, regardless if it's a preseason race or not. Losing a little bit of time down the straight here. Mink pulling away from Karachek as well, slightly. Karachek still holding on best he can. We'll go on board with Karachek here in 2nd. Checking on the top 10 here in Sector 1. Austin Green still getting pressure from Austin William for 6th place. We'll follow these drivers heading down the Mistral Straight. Easy pass for William up into 6th. Green is going to possibly look to come back here. It's a little out of sorts on the counterattack. So here's your fight for 3rd. Bedson versus Niles. We'll keep it here. Looks like the closest fight on track right now for the podium position. Bedson still pressuring to the outside. He's opening the door a little bit for Flores here, though, in 5th. Flores is definitely catching up now. Look at this. Flores is right up on Bedson now. The worst part, too, he's going to catch the whole slipstream right down the straight. Whoa! Flores to the inside, to the outside. He's going to have to regroup. We'll catch back up with the lead. Fight here, 9 minutes to go in the race. Karachek still with a chance here. Coming up to the end of lap 10. This is a good fight for 3rd here. 3rd, 4th, and 5th are pretty much all together right here in the final 8 minutes of the race. It's Niles, Bedson, and Flores. Also, William Green and Mowry are together right behind them as well. Oh, Niles goes wide. This is going to be interesting if Bedson and Flores are both going to get a draft down the straight here. Watch this draft take hold. Whoa! Here comes Flores. Flores to the outside of Bedson. Well, side by side, Bedson to the inside of Niles. Good move there. That's a good pass. Flores looking to the inside of Niles now. Battle of the Aston Martins right now. Up front for third. I'm sure William is looking to catch up. Along with Green. It's going to open the door for these drivers the longer these drivers fight. So Bedson right now up to third. Karachek slowly starting to fall away from Jacob Mink. Mink with a pretty solid performance here today. Especially during the preseason race right now. Good practice, good qualifying to qualify in the front row. Both of these drivers started on the front row and they're going to finish 1-2 as far as I can tell. I think you're looking at the top two favorites this year for the North American Championship here in Mike Karachek and Jacob Mink. We'll check in on the fight for third. Still hot and heavy with Bedson, Niles, and Flores fighting. Coming up on 5 minutes to go in the race. Flores is right up on the inside here of Niles. Nope, he thinks better of it. Niles is doing everything he can to hold on to fourth right now. Flores is going to get the slipstream coming down the long straight. See if Niles is going to go defensive. Good racing by both of these Aston Martin drivers. Different teams. Still a common manufacturer, keeping it clean. Might send it here coming into the final two turns. Let's see. Coming in the final turn. Nope. Just over 2 minutes to go. Let's work up to first. Karachek still within reach of Mink. If he can make anything happen here. Should be 2 more laps left in the race. Bedson in third. There you see Niles followed by Flores. Flores is going to get another good run coming down the straight here. Flores on the inside. Should have position. Nice move. Niles is definitely going to look to come right back here. Oh, hard move to the inside, Niles. Good job to avoid any contact there.
All right. On the final lap. Give it all you can.
Jacob Mink coming around to take the white flag here. Still a fight for fifth here. William pressuring Niles. Green not too far behind in the NSX. Williams looking to the outside of Niles. Niles having to go defensive. We'll catch back up with the leaders, Mink and Karachek here coming around the final complex of turns. Great drive by these two drivers today. Starting on the front row, finishing 1 and 2. Karachek starting on pole. Mink starting second, finishes first. Coming across the line here, take the checkered flag.
The leader has finished.
Jacob Mink, Mike Karachek second. Coming around Jose Flores to take third overall. Austin William 4. Jared Niles 5th, Lewis Mowry 6th, Austin Green 7. Jim Bedson might be out of fuel here. What's going on here? Bedson's out of fuel. Looks like Sneltron going to give him a push across the line. Good sportsmanship there in the preseason here. I'm not sure what he's going to get during the regular season if that was a points battle. So good job by all of these drivers here today. And make sure to tune in for round 1 next week for the North American Championship at Suzuka. The European Championship will be earlier in the day next Saturday as well from Hungaroring. Here's your final timetable. Hopefully it's still correct.
light. Go, go, go.